Hey there, it's esquared photography. I'm Erin.
And I'm Emily, and we are here to keep things simple and fun.
Are you new to photography, or maybe you're just getting started with it, but you're really struggling and you can't figure out where? Well, we're here to help you with that today.
Make sure to tune in all the way till the end because we have something special just for you.
We promise to give you some helpful tips. We've heard from lots of photographers on what their problems are starting out. We had our own problems starting out, so we're going to give you all of the details in this video.
And for more photography tips and tricks, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell for notifications for future videos.
The number one question that we get asked is, why are my photos not sharp? Here we go.
So in order to get sharp photos, one thing you really need to understand is aperture or f-stop. So making sure your f-stop is high enough for larger groups. So shooting your camera on an f1.8 is not very good for a large group. You need to understand what the ideal aperture would be for a larger group, and that's going to get you sharper photos.
So looking at this photo right here, we have the bridesmaids. Their toes are all in one line, meaning they're on one plane, so we can shoot at a lower f-stop versus the group of groomsmen here are on two different planes. When you start adding more rows, you need to increase that f-stop number. Another reason for your focus issues or blurry photos could potentially be that your shutter speed is off. So importance of shutter speed. If you have a slow shutter speed or it's too slow, it can cause blur to your photos. So really make sure it is fast enough to keep up with whatever you're dealing with.
So if you look at these two pictures here, the one on the left is blurry. The reason it was blurry is because we shot this at way too slow of a shutter speed. We amped up that shutter speed and then we got a nice crisp image on the right. So we've already used terms that might be a lot for you, using aperture, f-stop, shutter speed, all of that kind of stuff. What we're really trying to get down to is to get the pictures and the images you want. In those crisp images, you need to fully understand manual mode. You can't be shooting in auto mode because manual mode is going to leave you in complete control of the images you are getting, and you are going to get the images you want, and you want complete control.
So some exciting news that we have for you is that we have an absolutely free training in March that's coming out. So make sure you follow along with us on Instagram so you can kind of see when that's coming, and make sure you sign up because we are going to do a deep dive into manual mode where we really simplify it for you and give tons of scenarios that you'll find yourself shooting in and exactly how to tackle those.
So like Erin said, we are so excited about this free training. Follow along on Instagram at esquared.photography to find out when you can sign up for this free training in March.
So along with understanding shutter speed comes understanding movement. So if you have any sort of movement in your photos with little kids or whatever it might be that's moving, you really need to understand what do you need to do specifically to your shutter speed most of the time to make sure those photos can stay crisp.
Dealing with focus still, we can't get those sharp images. You really need to understand where you're focusing in different group scenarios. So really understanding where are you going to place that focal point with 2 people, 3 people, a huge group of people. That is very important in getting those tack sharp images.
The second question we always get is, why is editing so hard? How do you do it? What do you do to your photos? I can't understand Lightroom. Here we go.
Before even thinking about editing, the reason editing is so simple for us right now, so easy for us to do, so quick, so efficient, is because we have learned that it is most important to get the pictures right in camera, so then when we bring it into editing, we don't have a lot of adjustments to make because we have placed in good light. We've done so many things to get great in-camera images, and then editing is a breeze for us.
When it comes to editing, this makes a huge difference. Make sure you go into your camera settings and choose that you want to shoot these in RAW and not JPEG. You will have tons more control over editing your photos, and you will see that right away if you're not already shooting in RAW.
So along with editing and getting those great images right out of camera so you don't have a lot of editing to do, the biggest thing too is learning manual mode. Like we've said before, we can't emphasize enough, being in control of your camera, setting your cameras up how they need to be is so much better come the long run when you have editing. And don't forget that we're going to be having a free workshop where we dive super deep into manual mode and how we simplify manual mode at our sessions so things go nice and smooth.
In order to get these images right in camera, you have to understand lighting. Making sure you have the most beautiful light you possibly can or work with it in the right way is going to help you edit better and faster.
Comment below for us, what is one lighting scenario that you just can't figure out and that you've been struggling with?
And problem number 3, the last problem that we get the most questions about is how do you get clients? How do you book clients? What do you do? How do you get them to brag about you? We're gonna give you the answer.
The first thing is we look busy. Do we have a photo shoot every day? Absolutely not. Do we post basically every day on social media? Yes. Do we show our faces? Yes. We are looking busy. We like to make ourselves look busy. Are we busy? Yes. But in the beginning, we posted all the time. People thought we had sessions all the time. Make yourselves look busy.
Social media is huge. Make sure you're interacting with social media daily. You can like other people's photos. You can comment on other people's photos. Show up on their feeds. Share things that they have. If it's a small business, share something about them. Just keep interacting with other people.
So you want to book more sessions, you want more clients. So what you need to do is figure out what kind of clients do you want? Who is your ideal client? You need to target that ideal client. If you want to shoot families and you're posting pictures of weddings or things that are not related at all to families, you're not going to attract families. You want to really post and attract your ideal client.
And if you want to attract families and you're a mom or an aunt or whatever, or an uncle or whatever it might be, let's show those kids in some Instagram or Facebook stories and some posts because that's how they can relate to you. Don't be afraid to ask family and friends if you can practice a little photo shoot on them for maybe free. Maybe you charge them something small to start too. That's completely fine. But then you need to ask them and other family members and friends to share your work and spread the news.
How else can you book more sessions? Be unique. Pick something that sets you apart from others in your area. So you could be doing something unique, something different than the others. But really what it comes down to is they want to know you. They want to relate to you. They want to know that you like things they like and that you have a good personality that they think would match well with them when taking their pictures.
One idea that is optional, but we recommend starting out, pick 1 to 3 areas to focus on right away. A lot of times new photographers, and we were one of those, we started out shooting maternity, newborn, family, bride and grooms, everything under the sun, and then you really don't learn one really well. So pick 1 to 3 areas that you can really focus because it also helps you target that ideal client better.
To wrap it up, you have maybe any of those 3 problems. Those are questions you have been asking. The biggest piece of advice we can give you is to set aside time for education and practice. And that's why we would love for you to follow us along on Instagram at esquared.photography. So when we in March come out with our free training all about manual mode, we can get you started in learning manual mode.
To get you started before our free training comes out, we have a free guide in our description below just for you where we break apart camera settings and get you on the right track until you learn more. If you found this video helpful, make sure to share with a friend, subscribe, and like it so we know to make more videos just like this one.
And for even more photography tips and tricks and videos, follow us along on our Instagram page at esquared.photography, and don't feel afraid. Reach out to us, ask us questions. We love to help.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.